That's much better. The Conjuring 2 was released in 2016, directed by James Wan, starring Patrick Wilson, Vera Farmiga, Madison Wolfe, and Frances O'Connor. And yeah, this is after Annabelle, this is a much better movie. Yeah, great palate cleanser from Annabelle. So yeah, let's go ahead and start this review off with the good. And just like the first Conjuring, there's just a lot to love here. Just go ahead and start out. First, you got Patrick Wilson back as Ed Warren, and he's just as great here as he was in the first one, if not a little better, honestly. I really love the way he plays the character. Then you have Vera Farmiga as Lorraine, and she's just as great here, as also, if not a bit better. And she's really the one taking center stage in this movie. Her character gets a lot more focus here. She does a lot more. She's actually the one who condemns the demon back to hell by the end of the movie. She is very much the front and center focus of this specific story here, and she really sells it. And her chemistry with Patrick Wilson, once again, is just absolutely off the charts. They are so believable as a couple who actually loves each other, and they're just absolutely terrific. Then you have Madison Wolfe in this movie, and she's the main kid who's being haunted or possessed in this movie. And she does a really great job. I really love the way she's able to make the facial expressions that she does when she's having a possession episode. And for a kid actor, just really, really well done from her. Then you have Frances O'Connor, and she plays the little girl's mother. And she's really great as well. She's clearly not the main focus of the case, the child is, but she still gets a lot to do within the story and the context of the case. And I just really love the way she plays the character. I really love her interactions with the Warrens. Really great stuff. And then you have the main demon in this movie, Valak. And it takes two, technically three, but two forms I want to talk about. First, you have obviously the nun, obviously, along with Annabelle, the most iconic demon from the franchise. It's getting a second movie, which is why I'm doing these reviews. I really like the nun. I think that it's a very creepy presence, and Bonnie Aarons, who does the physical portrayal, just really sells the creep factor of this character. And then the other form it takes is the Crooked Man. And the Crooked Man only has one or two scenes in this movie, but it was an effectively creepy scene when he does show up. It wasn't CGI, in fact. It was all filmed in reverse and rapid movements. Javier Botet does the portrayal of the Crooked Man, and the way that they were able to actually manipulate the camera to make it look like a stop motion character, just absolutely amazing. I really love the Crooked Man. I wish they were giving the Crooked Man a spinoff, but I guess it would be a little too complicated to do a whole movie of what the Crooked Man is, especially since it's the same demon. But that's aside from my point. Really love Valak in this movie. Really great, imposing demon threat. And then you have the main story. Obviously, it's your haunted house film, Possession. It's a Conjuring movie, but James Wan once again takes the possession and haunted house subgenre and he flips it on his head. He experiments around, does new things, and it all works. And the scares in this movie are just as effective in this movie as they were in the first one, because James Wan knows how to earn his scares. And that's something that a lot of horror directors forget to do. They just want to have a good scare and be done with it. They don't want to have the build up. They don't want to have the tension and then the payoff. They just want to throw something at you and try to scare you. James Wan earns his scares, and I really love how he does that. And adding to that atmosphere is the camera work, the color grading, and the cinematography. All really adds to it. When you're in a dark basement or a dark room, you have this building sense of dread. Something might be hiding, and once again, James Wan just knows how to manipulate that with color grading, editing, camera work. It's just all magically done. And finally, you have the score in this movie. Once again, also adding to the tension that you get building throughout this movie. And I also really love the fact that you even have these small scenes within this tense haunted house thriller where the characters are allowed to just sit down and be happy every now and then. There's a scene where Patrick Wilson's character just sits down and he sings to these kids who are being haunted. And I just really love that scene. It's a great scene with human emotion, and it really helps alleviate some of the tension that has been building up throughout this movie. Just really, really great scene. That's about all for the good, on to the bad. And just like with the first one, I really don't have anything bad to say about this movie. So final thoughts. I love The Conjuring 2. This is one of the best horror sequels ever made, in my opinion. It's not better than the first one. It is on the same level as the first one. The Conjuring 2 is an amazing sequel, great character moments, and I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. So that was my thoughts for The Conjuring 2. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it if you have. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.